Howdy everyone and welcome to the most efficient sugarcane farm in Minecraft 1.15. If you take a look behind me here, this thing is extremely easy to build. You can build it on massive scales and there's very few blocks wasted. If we go ahead and fly up over top, you'll see that the black blocks are the only spots where we don't have either sugarcane or water. We're making use of the most efficient placement of water to maximize the amount of sugarcane in this area. And if we go ahead on down here, we're using flying machines to harvest everything. We go ahead and flick that on and it's going to go through and it's going to absolutely demolish it, just like farming grass. Incredible. We can go an infinite distance in that direction. We can make it go as long as we want, as long as everything is still rendered. And we are shooting items off the side, so you'd want to have some sort of backdrop to catch them, of course, and then extend the item storage just a little bit further. So we're going to start with our area here. We have a nice big open area to build the farm in. Remember, we can go as many blocks off in that direction as we want to. The flying machines are infinite, and on these blocks here, we're going to have some kind of rail system to collect all of our drops. Now, it doesn't matter exactly which rail system you use, but you're going to want to use something with rails and a hopper minecart. And now on top of the rails, we can go ahead and put in our sand. We could also use dirt here, of course, and it doesn't really matter whether you use either one, but if you use dirt, you don't have to worry about accidentally breaking one of these rails and having the sand fall down. And once you get the sand in, we can go ahead and start making holes for the water. So I'm going to start it here at the lower left. You could really start wherever, but we want to punch out one block and then go up 2 over 1. And we're going to keep that same pattern going all the way through. So we're doing that up 2 over 1 all the way through to the end. And when we get to the end here, there's obviously no more blocks to break, so we can just leave it like that. And if we come back down to where we started, we need to skip 4 blocks before starting the next row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to place a block there, or break one rather, and do the same up 2 over 1. So we get these 2 diagonal lines going back and forth together like that. And going side by side, we want to do the same. Skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, break a block there, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. You notice we have a gap in the middle here, so we want to find that center block between these two. There's that one. And then it's up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, and so forth throughout the entire platform. So now your pattern should look something like this, where we've got all these diagonal lines going through. This is where all of the water is going to go. So when we start putting these in, of course, if we put them on the ends, they're just going to leak out. So we need to take some stairs here, and we need to start blocking these off so that we can waterlog them and then keep that from flowing out the side. So we're going to place all of these stairs facing outward like that, like that, like that, and do that around the entire outside. And in this corner where we have just the one block like this, we can go ahead and take one stair like that, break this piece of sand next to it, and then go ahead and put another one like that, so we get this sort of corner stair like so. Once you get all the stairs in, we can go ahead and take some half slabs and start placing bottom slabs in the remaining spots so that we fill up the entire middle farm with all of that, and that'll keep all the water from draining down onto the rails below. With all those in now, we can go ahead and take a water bucket and start waterlogging all of these blocks so that we can start planting the sugarcane then next to it. With that out of the way, we're ready to start placing our sugarcane on in here, so we can go ahead and start doing that. And you will notice that there are just a couple blocks on the outside here where you cannot place sugarcane, and that's because they expect a water source to be just outside of the farm. So we can just go ahead and skip that block, and it'll occur pretty much at the same pattern every time. So we're skipping those 4 blocks between them. It's a little different over here just because we're on the corner there, but otherwise there is absolutely a pattern to it. But we can just come through here, place the rest, and do that throughout the entire farm. And with all the sugarcane in, you can now see where all the gap spots are, and just like before, I highlighted them with the black wool there. You can see there's only a few of them, and they are exclusively around the outside. So you're really not losing a whole bunch of spots with that. And if we come over here now, we want to build the stoppers for the flying machine. So come down to one end, find roughly the middle, place a block there, and then go out a couple more blocks. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 in total. And we want to place 2 more blocks on top of that. And then we want to keep this top one, destroy the rest. Go ahead and place a piece of redstone dust on top of that. Go ahead and turn that on. And then come around here. We need to place a temporary block and an observer facing into the farm like so. So that's going to be 1 observer, 1 obsidian, 1 redstone dust, and 1 lever on that side. Let's go down to the other end and we're going to do the exact same thing, but we need to offset it 1 block. So we are right here. We want to come over 1 block to the right, and then that's going to come down this line here, 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 here. Right here, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, just like we did before. Break all those blocks. There's dust, lever, powered on, temporary block, and then observer facing into the farm, just like that. We are now ready to build a flying machine, which is the power behind the entire farm. We're going to need 2 sticky pistons, 2 more observers. We're going to need slime blocks to stretch across the whole thing, and then 2 pieces of solid blocks to put at the ends. And I like that just so we don't have any slime blocks hanging out at the end that could possibly interact with any walls you might want to build, and to save on the extra couple of slime blocks in case you don't have a bunch of slime balls. So to start, we want to find this observer here, place a piston like that. It should turn on if we have this turned on back here. Now let's look at where the other one is. It's right here next to it. So on that side is where we want to place our piston coming back the other way. So we're going to place a block right like that. There's our piston right there. And now we can place another slime block on that space. Now we can come over here and place a temporary block up like that, and an observer coming down so that its face is looking straight up. That's going to fire. That's absolutely fine. We want to come over here, go 1, 2, again, place an observer in the exact same fashion so that the face is going up, and then take our slime blocks over to the edge of the farm. And again, that very last block I like to use as a solid block there. Let's do the same thing on the other side. We have the slime block right here, so we'll come out right like this. There's the final block. We can go ahead and place that there. And if we turn this off, the flying machine is going to start. So had the sugarcane already grown, this is going to knock it all down just like you saw before. It's going to go all the way down to the end. It's a wonderful thing to see. And over here we have this powered on, which means that it's going to come down here and it's going to stop. So these act as stoppers so that you can turn the farm off on either side. We go ahead and flip that back on and it goes right back. So absolutely wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and turn this side back on so we don't have this thing completely looping. But that is the farm essentially done. The last step here is that you're probably going to want to build that backboard back here so that when these drops come shooting through, they hit that backboard and drop straight down. That of course means you're going to want some kind of collection system down here, whether that be continuing these rails out just a little bit further, or possibly if you want water or hoppers. Hoppers are my personal favorite. If we just line across the back here, they're all hitting the backboard and shooting straight down, so you really don't need to extend the rails over. We just need something to catch all the drops that land right here. But anyway, hopefully y'all have enjoyed. Go ahead and subscribe for more, and I'll see y'all next time.